Alright, this is IMAX Nation 1980 here with another upcoming Disney Thoughts video. Now moving on to 2013 and beyond. Coming March 8th, 2013 is Oz the Great and Powerful, to be directed by Sam Raimi, who did The Evil Dead and the Spider-Man trilogy. Hopefully this will be a good film. It's opening early March, much like how Alice in Wonderland opened in early March. It's starring James Franco and Mila Kunis, and that's all I know for now. Apparently Disney wants it to be a big box office success, much like Alice. Now that March has become a new hot spot for blockbuster films, hopefully it will be a decent flick. Of course, Disney's big release for 2013 would probably have to be Iron Man 3, opening May 3rd, 2013, coming right off the Avengers, of course. Now, I hope Iron Man 3 is a, suitable ending to the trilogy. Not sure if they would go ahead and make a fourth one, but you see, I didn't hate Iron Man 2, nor did I really love it. I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a lot of fun, but I ultimately thought that the first Iron Man was a lot better. I thought Iron Man 2 was kind of a rushed effort, so I'm hoping that Iron Man 3 can, live up to expectations and, be a good flick. Of course, it's going to be a Disney release, that's why I'm mentioning it. Not sure about X-Men and the supposed Fantastic Four reboot. I think those are still going to be distributed by 20th Century Fox. But hopefully Iron Man 3 will be a much better film. It's going to be directed by Shane Black. Jon Favreau, I guess, is too busy. He's going to be directing Magic Kingdom, which is supposed to be coming out in 2013 or 2014. That film can go either way, but Iron Man 3 has the potential to be a pretty good film, especially under Shane Black. And of course, I wonder, they'll probably choose the Mandarin as the villain. I think that's what everyone wants. Not too sure. I mean, I liked, Obadiah Stane from the first film, and Ivan Vanko was an okay villain in Iron Man 2. So hopefully Iron Man 3 can deliver. Hopefully it will have more scenes, focusing on the story and the action and the characters, rather than just, comedy scenes. I mean, don't scrap comedy completely, but in Iron Man 2 there was too much comedy in it to the point where it kind of overshadowed the story. You had one too many scenes of Tony Stark drunk in his suit and all that. I thought that they could have easily done some editing there, and several other scenes. The problem with Iron Man 2 is that it's lacking in what it should have had. It should have had more action, more thrills in it, and something to keep the story moving. Instead, the film kind of goes downhill a little bit in the second half or so, the second act, and it's kind of slow up until the end. But I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me on that, and that's okay. I mean, to each his own. But hopefully Iron Man 3 is a film that lives up to expectations because, coming off of Iron Man 2, which was, many people felt was a disappointment, that's kind of a tall order, making Iron Man 3, it seems like a risk almost. It seems like they should have just ended there and with the Avengers, but since Iron Man 2 was still a box office success, it outgrossed its predecessor worldwide. Over here it didn't reach it, but that's still successful enough for Paramount, but now Marvel and Disney, so obviously they were going to push for a third one, and I think, they've always had the trilogy planned anyways, so from different sources and all, because Iron Man, out of Incredible Hulk and Thor, was the most profitable of the three films, and I can only imagine how Captain America is going to do at the box office this summer anyways. It should do Thor numbers, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. It doesn't really have much competition, so it has the potential to be, a bit of a breakout hit this summer, but I won't be counting on it because I was expecting Thor to clear $200 million, but right now it's going to stop at like 180 mil or so. And that's okay because, it still was a success, and it did well overseas, and it was a good film. I really enjoyed it. Anyways, if you would be interested, rank the Marvel films, the Avenger films, from, best to worst, and post in the comments section, like, did you think that Iron Man was the best of them, or which one you thought was the worst. I'd personally say Iron Man, Thor, The Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2. And of course, when Captain America comes out, I can only imagine where that will rank on the list. So, hopefully, Iron Man 3 will be, I don't have such high expectations for it. I just expect it to be an all-around good film and at least be as good as the first film without, being a mess like the second one. Anyways, post your thoughts on Iron Man 3, what you would like to see in Iron Man 3, and what you think could make Iron Man 3 a better film than Iron Man 2. Of course, Pixar has another big film for the summer of 2013, and that's Monsters University, a prequel to Monsters, Inc. And that opens June 21st, 2013, which is nearly 12 years after the original. And you might be wondering, why? Why did they have to go ahead and make another, sequel or prequel, I mean, people were already upset with Cars 2, but something weird about Pixar's upcoming slate, it's 2 sequels and 1 original film. Had they not canceled Newt, I would have been a little happier because, there would have been 2 original productions and 2 sequels. Now in the prequel, it's going to be about Mike and Sully meeting each other for the first time at Monsters University. They're in college, and they don't like each other at first, but then they become the best of friends, and that can be very interesting. It can be a real fun comedy. It will be directed by Dan Scanlon, who had directed the Cars short film, Mater and the Ghostlight. So, it could be good. Then again, Cars 2 could be really good. I'm not going to worry about the sequels. I'm a little worried about Cars 2 because there's no early reviews or anything, and it's almost as if Pixar's not too confident in that one. But since Monsters University, there's been no trailers or anything, I'm not yet worried. Until we start seeing some trailers and some early reviews, then I'll start, I don't know if I'll worry about it or if I'll be excited about it, but right now, I'm neutral about the idea. So hopefully Monsters University can be a good film, and I hope that it does what Monsters, Inc. didn't. Now, first of all, Monsters, Inc. I give it 10 out of 10, but hopefully they'll show more of the monster world other than just Monstropolis, because the first film only took place in the factory and sometimes in Monstropolis. I would like to see more of the monster world. That would be quite nice. Maybe Pixar will do it, maybe Pixar won't. We'll see what happens when the film comes out. And another thing, tell me what you think of Pixar's upcoming slate. Are you against the idea of 2 sequels and 1 original film? I don't know yet. These 2 sequels can be very good. Pixar has never let me down, so, I'm hoping that both Cars 2 and Monsters University work. And supposedly, and I think Lee Unkrich said this on his Twitter once, or in an interview, after Monsters University, the next batch of Pixar films are all going to be original. So that kind of leads me to believe that Cars 2 and Monsters, Inc., Monsters University might be, well, not cash grabs, but, guaranteed blockbusters that are going to keep the studio going. Because if you think about it, Ratatouille, WALL-E, and Up were pretty risky films, and, some people predicted that all 3 of those films were, when Ratatouille was coming out, they thought Pixar's first flop, but then they thought WALL-E would be the first flop, and then Up. But, I guess they're doing this sequel thing to keep the company alive. Not too sure. There hasn't really been too much background on why Cars 2 was made. All we keep getting is John Lasseter saying, I went around the world and, I kept thinking to myself, what would Mater do in this situation? That's all we've gotten, really. Most people think that Cars 2 was made out of marketing concerns, which maybe it was. I don't know. It seems kind of obvious, but who knows? Monsters University? Not too sure. But hopefully, we'll start seeing more original films after these 2 sequels. Hopefully, they'll bring back Newt. That project had potential. And I really think it got, shelved because of a similar film, Blue Sky's Rio. But hopefully, the people there will bring it back. It would make a pretty good film if they work out all the problems in the story. But, it's no different from when WALL-E was first conceived in 1994 as Trash Planet, but we didn't get it until 2008. Same thing with Cars. Cars was originally conceived back in 1996, and it went through so many changes until John Lasseter's road trip with his family inspired him to rewrite it, and we got that in 2006. So I don't think Newt will be, canceled forever. I think they'll bring it back somehow.